welcome to Burnout Brighter. What's up? I will be hosting today. Your lovely Destiny. You're welcome. You're welcome. With my co-host. Oh, thank you. With my co-host Matt.
What's up?
And my lovely co-host Darren.
Hello.
Hold on, the fuck is this? I'm just co-host. He gets lovely.
With my beautiful, amazing co-host Matt.
Thank you. I needed adjectives. Now I feel better. Continue.
Okay. And guys, we have a special guest on the. Oh God, I don't even have enough adjectives to express how excited I am about having my homeboy down for whatever, ride or die, Evan. Evan, welcome to the podcast.
Hello,
what's up, guys? I'm glad to be here.
Okay, I'm like too excited. I'm drinking tea, but it looks like whiskey. Let's just pretend it's whiskey. Anyways, Evan, bruh, how have you been?
Not too bad, man. Just trying to stay busy in these indoor I don't know, life that we're living now, you know.
In these industry game streets.
You know. But
yeah, you've been doing big things. Like, me and Matt were super excited to see you up there talking about your time in the industry and what you've been doing. And I just remember working with you and like how much stuff we had to do. And
only
that like
Matt and her were excited. Apparently I was not excited to see you here.
I don't remember you being there.
That's worse.
I don't remember.
He was there.
Oh yeah, I knew.
I saw him there. I saw the podcast. He was there.
Like, we saw you there. You were there.
He was there. I seen him. I seen some.
Guys, that's my
Evan.
bad. That's not Darren's bad. Like, he obviously has a presence. Like,
it's the whiskey tea you're drinking. That's
it
why.
It's the whiskey tea.
Wow, nice.
But no, it was dope. My bad, Darren. But it was dope. It was really amazing.
I appreciate that.
God, I feel so fucking bad to the point where I'm like, let's start over. But no, let's just keep going.
Nope.
Let's just keep going.
Even if we restarted, I would not edit any of this out.
You'd keep the whole thing. You'd start, but we
oh my
would have
God,
kept.
I hate you guys. I hate you guys so much. So, moving on. Evan, tell us a little bit about who you are. We want our listeners to get to know a little bit about you, what you do in the industry. Like who is Evan?
Oh, wow. So, I guess right now, currently, I'm a producer at Interabang Entertainment, which is a small team.
Producer,
okay.
Right? I'm sorry. That's a big name. That's
it's weird for me to say. I had to think about it before I said it. I was like, really? Like, it's still kind of weirds me out. But yeah. I'm helping produce games over at Interabang Entertainment. A small indie team based out of California. With like most of us are all kind of scattered. So there's members in San Diego, San Francisco. I think James is in Georgia. It's
he's in Savannah.
Weird. Yeah, it's an eclectic bunch. And then I've been in the industry for a little bit on some other bigger studios. Most notably Sony for a while. I'm there on and off, and nice. I'm there as a contract artist. And that's pretty fun. I'm so it's so hard to talk about myself, so I don't know what else to really say, but yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to make it out here.
I mean, you're doing big things. Like talk, Evan. Come on, there's more you could say about yourself. How did we meet, Evan? How did we meet?
Oh my goodness! So me and Destiny go back to Art Institute, which was a crazy time. In fact, most of my indie team at Interabang is all from Art Institute. Majority of them, anyway. And that was an adventure, wasn't it? It's crazy that it's gone now.
It is gone. The school is gone.
It's gone.
Not the Art Institute itself, but the branch in San Diego is gone.
What happened?
Sued into the ground, right? I thought it got sued. They got sued, right? I think that's what it was. Taking people's money.
I'm leaving here. I'm burning it down to the ground. Nobody else can graduate from this place.
I think we all graduated around the same time, but we were in different. So. I was going for something completely different, but like I hung out with all of you guys. Yeah, I went for animation. Yeah.
You know what's really funny is I just found out. So one of the guys on our team at Interabang is James, who Destiny has mentioned, I'm sure, a ton of times. I was
my
always
gay
under
ex-boyfriend.
I was always under the impression that he graduated under animation, and he does
No,
animation
he's just a
for our
dope
team.
fucking artist. Yeah,
Yeah,
James is
so-
just like talented.
So there was this month we gave him a ton of stuff to do, and it was like way more than he possibly probably could have done. And I was asking him, I'm like, hey, are you good with all of these tasks? Blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, it's a little difficult. And we started talking about it, and he goes, yeah, I never really animated before. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, you graduated for animation? And he's like, no, I graduated in game art and design, like you. And I was like, what? Like
Yes.
all of these
Did you
years?
not notice him in all your classes together?
No. I don't think I had
The
it.
Destiny Darren.
I don't think I had any.
There.
I don't think I had any classes with James. I saw James
Really?
out like in the I saw him out in the cafeteria drawing all the time with a lot of the art and animation dudes. So I had no idea when he told me that. He's like, I'm not an animator by trade, and I was like, wait, what? Like the stuff you're giving us is like amazing. What do you mean you're not an animator by trade? Like get out of here.
Yeah, no, he's just dope as fuck. He makes me sick. Anyway,
Yeah, man.
no, he was he was in
So great, I hate him.
he was in game art. Most of the people he drew with were in game art. I think you just got them confused because you didn't see them in class. Like almost
Maybe.
everybody who hung out in that area was in game art. Like all those dudes, Jeff,
James?
Adam,
Well, Jeff for
Hector.
sure. See, no, I knew Adam, but like Rod, right? Rod was not. Do you
I
remember
don't know
Rod?
about Rod. Yeah.
James might be listening to this. Be like, I sat beside him in like 3 classes. We did.
I hope not, James. I'm so sorry. I'm so
I
so
had
sorry,
any
bro.
classes with Evan either. Like I don't think we ever crossed paths. The only time we
I
saw
don't
each other
know.
were in we didn't have any classes together. I just saw you
Yeah, I think
like
you might
in the
be right.
cafeteria, and I was like, "Oh, who's that?"
And I was like, hi guys.
I'm gonna shut my glasses.
He's
Yeah.
such a liar. Evan has always been like smooth as fuck. Like he's
No.
always been GQ.
I can see
Yes,
that.
he
I believe
has.
that.
Yes, he has.
No.
He has imposter syndrome. Evan has always been like GQ. Stop it. Stop it. We
I
don't
feel
get
like-
James on here next.
I feel like this quiet confidence coming from Evan, and I don't believe him that he says that he wasn't like that. I don't know why. I believe Dustin
I
on
am-
this one. Sorry.
Destiny, you gotta admit, I am super shy.
He is really shy. He's really shy. But he's
ridiculously
so cute though. Just look
Oh
at
my
him. He's
God.
so adorable. All right. I'm sorry.
Hold on, wait. Before we jump off your history, I have to ask Evan, how much was Destiny like before compared to Destiny now? Like, is this always?
Oh
been
my
the
God,
same
that's a
Destiny?
good
Do
question.
we have any like inside stories from back in school?
We didn't hang out that much. So I don't
We
know
didn't
if
hang out
there's
too.
much
We didn't hang
about
out that
it.
much, but I can tell you that from what I know, I feel like Destiny is the same person.
Look at
changed.
you. That's awesome.
Like I don't think I think the word that I'd use is Destiny's super real. Like I can't think of any situation where she's like really changed. Like she's always been super cool, super talented, super sweet, funny. Like I can't really. Yeah, and she's been a pleasure to work with in the past too. I was sad when she stopped working with us. I was like, no. So yeah,
I know. It's
she's
when I
always
moved
been
to
the homie.
Korea.
I know.
And
No,
Off the
but
shelf, by the
Evan,
way.
you've always been. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing that everybody can say about me is that like, no, she just tells it like it is. She's real. Like,
Mhm.
even if I don't say it, it's on my face. Like, you know what I mean? So-
Your face can't hide it sometimes. It's awesome.
But all right, moving on. Thank you for that, Evan. All those compliments. Thank you.
No worries.
Made
Just
me
being
feel all
honest.
good. My self-esteem just went up. But Evan, one of the questions that we like to ask everybody who comes onto our show, because we do talk about gaming, what is a game that matters to you? What is a game that like just kind of blew your mind and was there for you at a time when you really needed it?
When I really needed it.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Again, and I've been trying to think. Maybe I would say Assassin's Creed
Ooh.
Okay.
2 might be one of
Interesting.
them.
What is it about Assassin's Creed 2 that's so important to you? I asked that in a way that was like very judgmental.
That was really.
I did not mean to-
Yeah, I was gonna say. Like,
I did-
No, it's fine.
Arms crossed and everything.
What about
Yeah, really.
Assassin's Creed 2?
Yeah.
I
No,
meant that
it's
genuinely.
fine.
A genuine question.
No,
Sorry
no.
about the sad.
It's
I know
all
you did. Yeah.
no. It's all good. I think because the second game made so many different improvements over the first game, I was shocked. Because the first game, although I enjoyed, if someone were to tell me they hated it for all of the trail missions and just how the structure of the gameplay was like made, I would not be mad at them. So I already felt like an odd one out liking the first game. To then go to the second game and then it just completely, I felt like, improve on all of the aspects people were complaining about, I thought was really, I don't know, I felt like it was kind of rare to see at the time. And then two, the story was kind of unlike anything I think that was currently out at the time as well, with it kind of being these like, it's like a dual story, right? Because you're playing as the character Ezio, but then you're also playing as the character, I can't even think of his name right now. Desmond.
Yeah.
Desmond, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're playing as Desmond, and so there's this future, plot going on, but there's this past plot. It's all intertwined. It was just super intriguing to me, and it was one of the games that I think I just spent the most time playing, trying to explore everything and every nook and cranny. I just thought it was cool, and the animation system in that game I thought was kind of above its time as well. Where as you're climbing, like the climbing is very dynamic. So like if there is a little brick here, right, like on the wall,
Right.
Ezio's going to grab that little brick. Versus like if you look at other games at the time, it's just like a static texture, and they're just climbing on whatever it is on the texture. But
True.
Ezio's like brick, like that. I thought was just super mind blowing to me. So that game stands out a lot.
Yeah, because like everybody likes to dunk on Assassin's Creed now because it's so like popular and annualized. Not so much annualized as much anymore, but like it's Assassin's Creed. It's like Call of Duty. But it only got that way because of how groundbreaking it was at the time. There were no games like Assassin's Creed 2. I still remember playing that in like the middle of the night at like 4 a.m. and just discovering the links, like the glitches in the world that lead you to like the futuristic stuff. And I was scared.
Yeah.
I felt like the game was like reaching out to me personally. It was weird.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that game means a lot to me.
Cute.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, for sure,
answer.
for sure.
Good choice.
That was a really
great
good
one.
answer.
Yeah.
Cool.
So random. I just wanted to be like, I keep focusing on Darren's bed and Evan's bed and how similar they are.
Oh.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
Did you get your bed at IKEA?
That's so random. I know. I'm sorry.
I might have. It's been a long time. I might have.
IKEA's right there in San Diego too, like that big old shopping center.
It's like 10 minutes away from me. But yeah.
See, you probably did get it at IKEA. I got my shit at IKEA too. Anyways,
talking about like, this is why this game is important when you're Destiny's like, look at their beds.
I know, right?
I'm sorry. That's just how I am. I notice things. Okay, random tangent. That's why I can't watch porn, because I focus on random things in the porn. What? This is true. It doesn't do anything for me, but I just like, okay, so like I was watching this one, like at this one point, like back when I was in college, because like, like whenever you're with a guy, there was always watching together.
Okay, so you watched it with a guy.
Yeah, with an ex, right?
Okay.
But he got really irritated with me because like at the time I worked at Pier 1. And, like, everything on the set looked like it came from Pier 1. So I was like, man, I think we got those, we have those curtains. Like, I'm sure we have those. And he's like, that's not even why I have you here. And I'm like, I'm just saying, like, that's dope. Like, they shop. I know where they shop.
Those are actually on sale right now. I think they're like 5% off. If you sign
up for the
newsletter,
like,
you get an extra $10.
I'm just saying, babe, we already live together. Like, if you like those curtains, like,
listen, like, let's recreate that set. We won't do anything else but that set.
I'm really bad. And also, their faces make me laugh. Like, I can't take it seriously. Anyways, moving on. Sorry about that. Sorry about that tangent, but I felt like it made sense because we were talking about IKEA.
Okay. For sure. Let's go. Got it.
Over your head. All right. So let's get into our topic. Basically, Evan, you're our topic. We want to know what it's like working in the industry. What could you tell someone, like, and not just young Black men, but just for diversity reasons in general, like the LGBTQ plus community, what could you tell someone who wants to work in the industry because they want to see more of themselves represented throughout, like across the board? I know for Interabang, it was like a group of you guys and like you were friends, so you were able to kind of develop your first game, not the first game, but the second game was based on Hawaiian culture, which is Super Combo Man, which is really groundbreaking because I don't think I've seen a lot of games that are based on that, right? And you took elements from that. But moving forward, kind of like, where do you want to go with it? Where do you want to see yourself in it? What do you want to see yourself doing in order to include diversity in the industry? Okay, sorry. I lost my train of thought for a second. In the
Okay,
industry.
no worries, no worries.
Okay.
That's a
So
good question.
if I, yeah, that is a really good question. Good questions.
Thank you. Yeah, there were
it-
multiple ones
yeah.
sprinkled
So
throughout.
so if I go off track and don't answer one, let me know. Or if it's not
Hmm.
detailed enough, let me know. So I think to answer the first part of it, if I were to have advice for people who want to get in the industry and see themselves get represented, the first thing that I would say is to get on the internet and learn as much as you can. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made early on was thinking that I had to go to a school to be in this industry.
Mhm.
And then getting into the industry, meeting super incredible, talented artists that were all self-taught, like they learned it all themselves, like they and just because they went out there and did their work. And it's not like, because I think at least when me and Destiny were in school, if I could date myself, um, I felt like the gaming industry was a bit of a, it felt guarded. Like I didn't know exactly how to get in. Like it was this thing that I only knew about from going into a GameStop or a Target or something, or by picking up a magazine. Like, you know what I mean? I never saw job ads for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, right? So it just seemed mythical almost to me. And then when I found out that I could take a route through school, I was like, oh my goodness, this is got to be how everybody else does it. Got into the industry and
Right.
immediately realized, I was like, oh my goodness, like half of the people that I know here did not go to school. This is crazy. Or others came from other industries like film and just a lot of things that I wasn't expecting. So that would be the first thing I would say. If you want to see yourself, represented in this industry, the only thing that's stopping you from, I think, doing it is yourself. There's a ton of information out there that you can get in and do whatever you want. I would say there's information on everything. In terms of, I think, what was your second question? Was it like,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question actually to lead up to
Okay.
that one. So, do you think, so I understand like the idea of like just getting out there and learning and, and I just want to let people know who are possibly interested, you do not need to spend a lot of money at school to get into this. One of the most important things is networking. And I want to know how you feel about networking, because I think had we not gone to school, not for the education part, but had you not gone and met Justin and the rest of them, like, do you think you'd still have the place in the industry that you do now? Or do you put just as much emphasis on networking?
No, networking I think is important. I think in any industry that you go into. So just to put myself on blast, I guess. So every job that I've ever gotten has been because I knew someone. So I ended up going to Art Institute, like Destiny said, with everyone. Um, and my first actual industry job was I was in QA.
Right.
um, Justin hits me up and is like, "Hey, we're working on a mobile game. I need someone who knows how to test mobile games. Can you help us out?" Sure. Boom. That got me in the door for Interabang, right? When I was working at
Nice.
Sony, similar instance, uh, a guy who went to our rival school, Platt College. I'm a
Mm.
really good
Okay.
buddy of one of his friends. He was like, "Hey, doesn't your friend Evan know a little bit of 3D? Didn't he go to Art Institute?" He does. We're hiring for some 3D work at PlayStation. Does he want a job? Hell yeah, I want a job. I don't want to do QA anymore. I'll jump over to that. You know what I mean? I
Huh.
got that job from that. And then I could name a million other situations where it's all from networking. So it's just the world is so small, especially in this industry. I think getting out there and meeting people at conventions, things like E3, Designer Con. Um, there's another con in Anaheim that I'm blanking on right now. But there's a ton of places that you can meet people, and Comic Con is another one. Yeah, networking is super important, and I think even with the presence that the gaming industry has online, advertising yourself through social platforms like Instagram, Twitter, ArtStation. Networking is it's I think it's mandatory for anything that you want to do.
And it
Thank
seems
you for
like
saying that.
um
Sorry, Darren. Go ahead.
well, because
Sorry.
it seems to me like I know this is the hard part about doing this podcast every time. Is like my internet, for the record, if people don't know, is notoriously terrible to the point that I think on when other people are listening to me, I am saying things like 5 seconds after I've intended to say them. There's like a huge delay. And that's why Destiny and I are constantly cutting each other off, because not because I don't want to hear what she has to say, but because I'm delayed. Anyways, Matt, the point is, based on what you said, like especially with James, how you mentioned that he was doing a lot of stuff that he's not necessarily like didn't go to school for. It seems like in the games industry and indie development, you have to be doing a lot of different things that maybe you've never done before. So how much of indie development do you think is actually doing roles for like the first time when you've never done it before versus like doing something that only the thing that you're trained for?
I would say, I, I'm trying to figure out how I can word this and not get in trouble. I I would say that is in every aspect of any industry related to games per se.
Sure.
So not just Interabang in itself. Um, even working for some of the bigger companies, there were always a ton of things that you're not necessarily trained on that you then have to learn in order to excel. It's gonna happen, especially if you wanna move forward, right? And you want to get up in the higher ranks and make yourself known within any company. You're gonna have to do it. But in the indie space specifically, because maybe you don't have all the people that you need for a specific thing to get done. You have to be able to pick up and learn and whatnot. So again, using myself as an example, I'm not the best 2D animator. I'm more of a I'm more into the whole concept art phase. I like drawing something one time and then I'm done with it.
Same. Oh
You
my
know,
god.
I don't want to
Yes.
draw like 80 frames of like a walk animation. I want it done, right?
Mm.
That's something that
Yeah.
I had to step up and learn a little bit of, right? So it's inevitable. The producer work that I'm doing now, that's something that's new for me. I've never Art Institute didn't prepare anything like that for when I for my graduating class. So it's something that I've had to learn and ask about and read. So I think it's an inevitable part of the industry.
So it like I can only imagine how stressful it can and might be, because I know for myself going, especially with using you as an example, going from QA to 3D to now you're in a producer role, and I'm sure plenty of things that you can to even talk about or things that you can even say in between. But like, how do you deal with the stress? Like, how do you take care of yourself in those moments when it's just like, all right, shit, like this is a great opportunity. I don't know if I have everything I need at this point, but I know I can learn it. I know I can do it. How do you take care of yourself in those moments?
Um, that's a really good question, and it's something that I'm still learning. Um, Especially when you're trying to do multiple things,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you have multiple jobs. I think the thing that I usually will try to tell myself is that I'm only like one person. I'm only human. I'm
Mm-hmm.
bound to mess up. I'm not going to get everything perfect. Not saying that I shouldn't strive to be perfect, but I have to give myself some leeway and understand that I have my limits as a singular person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I try to I try to stay focused on that because it is easy to kind of get overwhelmed in certain tasks, especially if you don't know what you're doing, right? Or
Yeah.
you're learning how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and you, especially in the industry, you do sometimes feel like you have like a laser focused, camera on you working because you don't want to mess up, you don't want to look bad, you don't want to look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And there are you end up working with some crazy people. I could tell you guys some stories of some of the people that I've had the like luxury of like being around. I'll tell
I
you
love
one
that you used
story.
the word luxury. Sorry,
Yeah,
but yeah,
Oh,
that's
dude.
perfect. Yeah,
Dude,
go on.
dude, I'll tell you one story, and this is I hope he forgives me. When I first got the job at PlayStation, they used to have a lot of Street Fighter nights, and a lot of people from different disciplines would be in the room playing, and we would just be talking. I didn't know anybody, so of course I was trying to get to know people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to this guy, and I'm asking him, what does he do there? And he's trying to explain to me. I think he was the head of animation at the time. And I was respectfully, because I'm really interested in what he's doing, I'm like, oh, do you have like a demo reel or something that I can see? And he smirks and laughs at me a little bit, like a little laugh. And he goes, just look my name up online and you'll find my site. And I'm like, oh, cool, right? And I get home that night and I'm like, what was dude's name? Let me look him up. I look him up, and literally his demo reel is just trailers of movies that I've seen. And I'm just like, holy shit. I asked for this dude's demo reel. Like, it was like clips of like Star Wars films and just all this stuff. I was like,
Oh my God.
okay.
Oh
Like,
my god.
like I had no idea people were working in our studio that were like that dope. Like, and I could tell you other stories where I'm just like, okay. So, but yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know how I would have handled that.
I would still be thinking
I'm
about
just-
it. Like that's one of those
I'm
things.
just-
Like I'd be lying there in bed some nights and be like, "Fuck," or, you know what I mean?
Right?
I'm not good with those things. So like looking back, I'd be
Uh,
like, "Oh my god." So but I mean, that's amazing though. That's such a
That's
cool story.
yeah. I think
Destiny,
as soon as you told me that, at first I was kind of like I was like, why didn't he just,
Yeah.
like what's he smirking about? Like,
Yeah.
who is he? I'm
Definitely-
sorry if
definitely
you're listening.
picturing
I don't
you-
know who you are.
I'm picturing you being like, dude, I just asked for your demo reel. Just give me your demo reel. Like, don't
Yeah,
be a
just
bitch
give me your
about it.
fucking
Just
demo
give it to
reel.
me.
Immediately when he was telling that story, I was like, oh, okay.
But you know what the funny thing is he's like the coolest. He's like the coolest guy. But I think in that instance, I don't think I appreciated when he said that like he was in charge of animation. Just because in my head I'm like, oh, video game studio. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not,
but I mean,
you
like,
know?
I could see why you wanted to
Yeah.
see some of his stuff. Like, it makes sense.
He-
But
he's
was
a-
just
he-
like,
he's-
go
he-
look
he's
up
a real-
my name.
He's a real dope guy. I promise you, he's a real nice guy. If you ever
believe
met
you.
him, you would think
Evan,
he's
I
sweet.
know you wouldn't lie to me. So if I ever meet him, I'm gonna ask for his demo reel too. Just like,
Wow.
yeah, that's
Wow.
the guy I was talking about.
And he's
And I'm be like, yo, Evan told me you're so dope. Like, can I see like your demo reel? Can I see anything you can work on?
oh man.
See, now that he's not gonna introduce
You know,
me.
you know what?
because, probably-
I'll shout out his he has I think he just got I don't know if it's a Netflix deal or something like that.
Oh
but he has
shit!
he has a show coming out. It's called Azurus Rising. You guys
Amazing.
you guys
Okay.
should look it up. It's really dope. It's really really dope.
I'll
He
check
actually
it
stopped
out.
working at Sony to pursue I think that goal. Short
That's
films
so
and stuff like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
So
check
keep
it
that
out.
for sure.
Wait, is it animated?
Yes, yeah, CG. Yeah.
It's short, right?
Yes. It's like a blue-haired character. He has goggles.
Okay.
He's like fighting robots, I think. It's pretty
yeah,
dope.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
That's dope. That's
yeah,
what's
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, cool as
So
hell.
Matt had a question for you.
Sure. I actually wanted to know. So, but like, I'm gonna save the question I told you about for later because I feel like we're in this. I don't want to.
Go ahead.
It's a big left
Okay.
turn. But like, as something I did actually want to ask is that like, I mean, we just talked a little bit about how you kind of help take care of yourself when you're dealing with kind of those internal stressors, right? It's things about being like you trying to live up to what you see yourself doing. How do you deal with all of the outside noise? Because I mean, being in game development, everybody I feel like everybody knows that the video game fan base is not the most understanding nor welcoming group of people. So I kind of wanted to know, like, I
What
mean,
are you
like being,
talking about, Matt? They're the friendliest. They're like
yeah,
cuddly kitties.
Gamers
fellow
always
gamers.
forgive. They
Oh,
always
man.
understand.
So,
They always understand.
so like, how do you deal with that as well? Because I mean, like, I can only imagine how much outside noise there is, like in development, and especially working on iconic characters like Jay and Silent Bob, and like everything looks amazing, but you're never going to make everybody happy. How do you yourself deal with in those situations?
That's a tough one. And that's something that I'm still learning. The hardest time that I ever had to deal with it, I think, was when we were at IGN. We did Interabang did a stint at IGN. They had this indie open house project, and they kind of had this portion of it where it almost was like a reality show, and they were posting videos up of all the teams that were in the open house, and you could see the comments, right? And that was kind of like my first introduction to that, and that was pretty hard because you have people talking about you who really don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
They're really only getting maybe like 2-minute clips of maybe me saying something, and then it's up to interpretation, right? Everybody thinks of a statement differently, so that was really difficult to kind of sit through. I think now that we're working on Jay and Silent Bob, what I would say is that IGN, that indie open house did kind of help in that, and that I try not to think about it primarily for the reason that you suggested, is that like you're never going to be able to please anyone, especially gamers, right? Like you're just not. So I think the thing that kind of keeps me focused is just trying to just do the best job that I can, believing in the work that that myself and the rest of the team are doing, and just kind of moving forward from there. To be honest, I think we've been fortunate in that most of the comments that I have come into contact with, or the emails that I see, have been people that are excited or have questions or just genuinely want to know when the game is coming out, or just stuff like that. I haven't personally dealt with too many negative comments, but when I do, that's just like I said, you're not gonna be able to please everybody. So I try to keep that mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
What's
I think
it
it helps if you.
You go ahead, Destiny. You gave the floor to me last time. I'm giving the floor to you.
That gentleman.
I was just gonna say, I think it's important when you believe in your team, right? So, like, if you believe in what the people around you are doing, they're like this defense mechanism comes up, kind of like, I don't even know why y'all talking shit because I know that such and such is bomb, and I know how much work they're putting into it, and it's no longer about you; it's about you defending your team, right? And so I feel like when I do like Pudding and Flan and like I get negative comments, I'm like, whatever, because I know James is bomb and I know that Jackie is bomb, and so like it doesn't matter what they say because I know how talented the people are that I'm working with. And I guess that's how like I see it, like moving forward. Like, even I think the worst comment we got, no, I'm lying, I think the worst comment we got as a whole was compared to Reading Rainbow. And I was like,
oh,
which
yes.
is still the weirdest thing.
I mean, like, I love
the podcast.
Rainbow.
The podcast, yeah.
We did
not
we did
the podcast.
Not the podcast. We did a review.
And they were like, it's the Reading Rainbow of reviews. And I was
like, what does that
like,
even mean? Wildly successful? Like easily digestible? Like, what does that mean?
It was so crazy because Matt and Darren were like, that's a compliment. And I'm like, nah, he's not trying to compliment us. And then Matt said, well, thank you. Yeah, he failed hard. I'm like, go back to trolling school. But he was like, that wasn't meant as a compliment. And I was like, but that's how we took it. So whatever.
Nice try.
But yeah, we're going to have to start dealing with that too. And I was telling Matt, like, the bigger we get, people are going to have something to say, especially because we do opinion pieces on games. You know what I mean? And like, it won't just be about like the opinion pieces. They'll start attacking you as a person.
Yeah.
And that's something that like we're going to have to learn how to deal with, because I haven't had anyone ever attack me as a person, but I've had them like attack my work, and I can deal with that, right? But having someone come for me as a person, I think I might get a little salty. So I just try not to read the comments, to be honest with you. I just don't read them.
Yeah, and like that's just something that I think you're right, D, especially because it's like I'm proud of the stuff that we make. So it's like whatever, shit happens. The things that bother me is like you said, when people get personal, that's when it's like if they're like whatever you're what your take on the game sucks. All right, that's fine. But if somebody comes like at us because of who we are, that's when I'm just like, that bothers me. But something else that I wanted to ask Evan to come back around a little bit. I mean, working with mocap must be super, super interesting. What are some of like the biggest things that people might not know about kind of working in that space? Because like, I feel like all we ever get is like snippets from like trailers or game dev diaries where we just see the people in like the suits. That's always what I think of when I think of mocap is like the tennis ball suits. What's kind of like your favorite part of working in that space, and what is something that like people might think is like surprising?
That's another tough one. I don't know if I could think of anything that I would say would be surprising, but
Yeah.
I think my favorite aspect of it though. Yeah.
No, I was thinking about it because we had to take mocap in school. Well, I did for masters, and I was like, "There's really nothing surprising about it. Like people put on the suit and they move around, and you animate to it. You always got to clean up the animation." I think that's the one thing that surprised me is that I thought it would be a smooth transition, and sometimes it's not, right? Like they're dancing and then their arm is all janky, and you're like, you have to go in, and like fix it. It's not a smooth transition.
It's not for sure. I can't think of anything too surprising, but I would say that at least my favorite thing about it is seeing it come together, because a lot of times, you don't know maybe necessarily what you're working on. You don't know what like you don't know what aspect it's going to be used. You're just not always given a lot of like information. I'll tell you guys another funny story. I think I'm allowed to tell this. Just in terms of like not knowing. So I remember I did OT on this one project, and never heard about it again. Don't remember the name they used for it or whatever. No clue. Only worked on it for maybe like a couple days or whatever. And then a year later, Love, Death, and Robots come out, or whatever it's called, on Netflix.
Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah. Okay. And then a bunch of people on my team are congratulating each other about it, and I'm like, oh, I was like, what? Like, who got to work on this? And it turned out I worked on it. I had no idea. So it's like it's right.
Amazing.
Like you don't like I didn't know. I was like, because it didn't have that name. There was no context of what it was. I didn't know the character. Nothing. So seeing like that always is like a really favorite moment for me. Is this is what we did. That's dope. Like seeing it come together.
Time to
seeing
add
the
that
final
to your
project.
demo reel.
Oh, I know, right? I know, right? You know what I'm saying? You know.
Which episode did you work on?
It was oh man, I'm terrible. The one where the woman had the ship that they thought was unlucky.
Is this the second season or the first season?
First season.
The ship that was unlucky.
It was the spaceship that everybody thought was cursed. But it ended up it was like saving a lot of her troops.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of the episode
I know
right
what I'm
now.
talking about. I don't remember the name of the episode, but I remember watching it. I was really hoping it wasn't the weird, freaky spider thing.
Oh, was that the one? That one.
Where
he
was dreaming and like that fucked me up.
That was crazy. I haven't. Is second season out? I haven't even seen it.
It is.
I haven't seen the second season either.
It is
the first half of the second season because it's shorter than the first season. So there's just like, I think the next part comes out next year.
I'm sad because I heard it wasn't as good.
Oh, that sucks.
I haven't finished.
I'm still watching
pick it up.
Evan didn't work on it, so obviously it's not as good. What are you talking about?
He might have. He might have.
Yeah, he might have.
I don't know.
I had another question about.
Okay, go, Darren.
Sorry, it's something that you worked
full
on.
of questions today, Evan. They really like you. All right, keep going. Sorry, my bad.
Because, like, as a producer, I think a producer is a role on a team that a lot of like people outside of the industry don't really talk about or know too much. Like, you hear about the developers, you hear about the writers, you hear about artists and directors, but you don't hear too much about producers. So could you just like give a little bit of an explanation about like what you do as a producer and like where the producer lies in the scope of game development?
Got it. So this may vary, and like I said, I'm still kind of learning this myself as I'm doing it. But what I would say I currently do is I'm kind of tasked with making sure that things are scheduled along the production line, so that people are all on track, making the assets and things that are needed for game development to progress, right? And
Mhm.
basically just making sure that's all going on according to schedule. So a lot of times I feel like I'm asking for people, hey, how's this going? This good? I needs that. I needs that. You know what I mean? I needs that file. You know what I mean? It's a lot of
Right?
that kind of thing. Because you'll have like
Okay.
art directors and stuff like that. You'll have animation directors or whatever. But you do need someone that's kind of like in between, making sure that a lot of the different disciplines are on schedule, on task, and delivering things on time. I think that's kind of maybe a starter kit for what a producer does.
Ooh, I could be a producer.
You definitely could.
I know, I really could. I was like joking as I looked off into the distance, but then I thought, no,
No,
I could
no,
do this.
just
I
from the
wanna
work
tell
that we
people
did
what to
together, I
do.
think.
It's not that. Okay, it's not that. But I definitely do have manager skills because I've had to be in that position before, even when I didn't want it. But no, Evan knows. Evan, I could do it. I could do
No,
it.
I know you can. I know you can.
See?
I know you can. We were almost
Thank
doing
you.
it pretty much on the last game, so.
It was hard, man. But listen, it was hard. Oh, it was so hard. Because listen, I just never felt like I was good enough.
Oh no, that's not true.
I did. I just never felt like I was good enough because I have imposter syndrome. So yeah, it was scary. And plus, like, I was the only chick for the longest time, like, who was consistent on the team. Like, people kept coming and going, right? And so, like, it was different being like the only girl and then like coming into the meetings and I feel like I didn't have anything to say. You know what I mean?
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't display
I
that.
didn't. I'm really good at not displaying my weaknesses to the enemy.
Wow, wow. I thought we was
No,
cool.
I'm
I was
kidding.
about to
I'm
say.
kidding. I'm
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
But like, no, like, I don't know how to explain it from like a woman's perspective. Like being in a room with like a bunch of guys, because you guys are like hardcore gamers. Even when we first started the podcast and Matt asked me to come on, like I was kind of like, I really don't know what I could bring to the podcast because I'm not that well versed. And Interabang had already made its mobile game, and you guys were kind of like finishing up. Well, in the middle of Super Combo Man. So I was like, I don't really like, even though Justin was like, come on as an artist, me myself, I felt like I don't really know. Like, you guys already have it set. Like, I don't know what I could add to that. Like, it looks good the way it is. So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that story. Anyway, I'm done.
All right, I have a question. So it's so cool that you guys are working with like such an iconic franchise. This is Jay and Silent Bob. Is there any existing franchises? Obviously, working on your own stuff is awesome. But is there any existing franchise or any property in the future that you could be like, oh, if I could work on one character, on one franchise, on one property, like what would be the dream for you?
For me personally?
Yeah, for you personally. Yeah, if you could be like, oh, I want this. I want to work on this.
I want him to make his own game. Like, I want you to make your own game. That's what I want for you.
That's definitely something I would very much like to do. If I had to choose another property, maybe Sonic the Hedgehog.
You gotta fix that stuff.
But
it's broken right now.
But here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Sonic Mania came out.
Yeah.
And that game is amazing.
Yeah.
So it also makes me kind of not want to touch it and just give it to that team. But that might be one of them. Oh man, I'd have to really think about it.
That was a good question, Matt.
Maybe if I was to go super out there, one of the things that kind of bond the team together is that a lot of us are really into fighting games. I would,
Okay.
if I could grab anything, maybe I would say, did you guys ever play Tournament Fighters on the Super Nintendo?
No.
You know I
It-
didn't.
No.
It's a Street Fighter knockoff, but with like Ninja Turtles characters. And
Oh.
the Super Nintendo ones,
Okay.
the Super Nintendo one specifically is like pretty identical to Street Fighter 2. So I would love to bring that back, or maybe even I'll even go further out there. Maybe Primal Rage would be fun to do if you guys have ever played that.
Ooh, I
Okay.
know Primal Rage.
That would be really fun.
Oh boy.
I'm just a button smasher though, so.
Hey, whatever works.
Fighting dinosaurs?
No,
Yeah,
but
that
you know
would
they
be
get
cool.
mad at you if you're like doing the same move and you beat them, and they're like,
Let 'em
"You
get-
you cheating." I'm like,
let 'em
"Look,
get
that's the only
salty.
move I know how to do."
Yeah, let them get salty. That's the best feeling when you make someone that mad. Because it's not on you; it's on them to get better,
It's
right?
on
It's like,
them, right?
you stop
They
me
get
from doing this.
so mad though, especially if they know you don't know any of like the moves and shit, and you just button
Oh,
smashing.
for sure.
And then
I've gotten
how'd you
Xbox
do
Live
that? And I'm
messages.
like,
I know how I
I
go.
don't know.
Yeah.
I push
High
A and
punch,
B at
low
the
kick.
same time and
High
plus
punch,
press.
low
Yeah,
kick.
yeah.
Right?
Just back, forth, forever.
Hey, don't tell
Yeah,
people
man, but
my
yeah.
strategy.
But yeah, maybe Primal Rage. I'm gonna say Primal Rage. Yeah. That one.
Man, these are
That's
some
cool.
deep cuts. I like it. I like it a lot. So, okay, fine. I'm going to ask with the question that Destiny alluded to earlier.
I don't
because
know what question that was.
I'm very,
the question,
very curious.
The question I thought you were going to ask actually fit with everything else, so I don't know what you're going to ask.
Oh, you'll know in a second.
Oh, I remember the question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take another different left turn here. I'm gonna come back to the other question after. So you started your own podcast recently, right? How's that going? What kind of led you to work in there? Yeah, how's that going? What's your show about?
Plug that shit.
Yeah, right. So that's actually really interesting. It started because I think during the quarantine, I found myself kind of complaining about the state of the world a lot with one of my buddies, Enrique, who I've known since 9th grade. And he already kind of does, he's a photographer, but he does these little really funny little mini skits on Instagram all the time. And I was joking around with him and I was like, dude, we should like do a podcast or something like that. I think I was pushing more for him to do it because I was like, I think you'd be really good at this. And he was like, well, why don't we do it? And I was like, all right, cool. And then we did a couple of episodes that never aired. And one day we brought his wife on board. And the chemistry between the three of us was really good. And she has like just a different opinion from, because I feel like I know him so well, we will tend to agree if left just to the two of us, right? So it's not
That's
as
how
interesting.
Matt and
That's
Darren
exactly how
are,
I am.
yeah.
Well, it's also funny though because we don't agree as much as you think.
No.
But when we both get super excited about something, there's no stopping it.
Yeah. It's similar. It's very similar. So like she's on the show and I'm like, dude, maybe we should have her on all the time. If that's cool with you. I mean, it's your wife. I don't know how you feel about it. And he was like, yeah, no, that's fine. And her name is Erin. And so we're sitting there, we're like, what are we going to call ourselves? And we realize that all of us have E names. So then we were like E by 3. So that's kind of how it got started. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's a cool name. I like that a lot. So how's that been going? Like what do you guys talk about? What's your show about? Tell us a little more about like the show itself.
If you were to look it up on Spotify, I think it's labeled as self-help, but it's really kind of on a ton of things, ton of different topics. I personally like to get more into like the political aspect of things. I like talking about that because for me, it's kind of therapy because I get to talk about things that really bother me or that I'm seeing, and I get to express it, right? But then we have fun topics. I think we had an episode where we were talking about aliens, ghosts, other really random stuff. We'll talk about ourselves. It kind of varies, but I think we're trying to keep it pretty topical with like recent events or what's going on in the world and stuff like that. I think that's kind of the idea.
Nice, that's awesome. Well, I wish you guys all the best. That sounds like a fun show. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So can you just plug the name one more time in case our listeners want to find it? Where is it at? Is it only on Spotify?
I believe it's only on Spotify right now, the E by 3 podcast. You can also find us on Instagram at E by 3 podcast, and look us up there, and it will tell you when shows come out. I think right now we're putting them out every Monday. I think today we just didn't do it because it's I think it's like Labor Day. So yeah,
it's a holiday. Yeah, Matt and Darren were like, Dustin, you have to work regardless of it being a holiday. I was like, that's cool.
I was like, this is fun though, right? So it's not even like work.
I was gonna say Destiny's the one that actually messaged us like, guys, we're doing this today. You can't run away.
Oh wow.
I kind of. That's
I'm the
producer, so that's what I do here, like.
Okay. So the question I've thought about asking twice over. So back on when you were on Black Voices in Gaming, when Justin introduced you, he called you the Shoe Sultan, which I think is awesome.
Man.
So and then Destiny also echoed this by saying that you're a sneakerhead. So I kind of want to ask, I like a good shoe. So what are some of your favorite shoes? And like if you could give me a number, it doesn't have to be exact. But like how many pairs of shoes do you have, and like what's your favorite?
I probably have 30-ish right now.
Nice.
And my favorite shoe, I like Air Maxes a lot right now. It changes.
Okay, nice.
Maybe I would say right now the Jordan MA 200s are my favorite, I think.
Matt's
Those
gonna
might be
look
my
that up.
favorite
He's
right
like, what?
I'm literally doing that right
Jordan. What?
I think it's the Jordan MA 200s. They're tan. They got like a little like pinkish kind of like undersole in the back. Yeah. Those are probably my favorites right now. If I had to choose.
Are there any overrated shoe brands?
Ooh.
Overrated. Yes. I was gonna say no, and then you said Yeezys.
Yeah.
I'm not
yes. Shoes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Yeezys. I don't really get it. They look weird.
I don't either. I got so mad when I saw his clothing line, and he literally looked like he was using clip art and just putting it on fucking
not even
t-shirts
like shaped
and
properly,
sweatshirts.
just stretched images.
Yeah, not even shaped properly. And I was just like, you're charging people like hundreds of dollars for that.
Random tangent, his new Donda like clothesline, he apparently actually stole those designs from somebody on his team, and they have like receipts and everything showing that like they're supposed to work together, and he basically copied the exact design for himself, and then they've been ignoring him, the guy who actually came up with the designs and shit now.
I can't even be surprised with Kanye anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
I like the old Kanye.
Yeah.
Before his mom, it was just really sad. Yeah.
I think I would say this about Kanye. This is probably as mean as I'll go. I like the old Kanye, but I just wished, even back then, I wish he would have just produced.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear you talk, bro. Just put music out.
You said, oh my God. You said this is the meanest I'll go. That was fucking harsh. I don't want to hear you talk, bro. I just want you to help other people's voices rise.
I always enjoyed his beats. I can't always say that I've always enjoyed him as a rapper, but I always loved his production, right? But anything else, I'm kind of like,
Nice.
Evan is like, he has a superb taste in music. Like, listen, I'll be going through my Instagram stories and he'll have like a beat on, and I'll be like, where the fuck is this song from? Like, he's always jamming. He is always jamming. Guys, you need to go follow him. Everybody needs to go follow Evan. Evan, what's your Instagram?
At Dub Mobile. Yeah, that's it. And then same thing on Twitter, at Dub Mobile.
Follow him.
Me. I'll have all the links in the description.
If nothing else, for like sneaker tips and music, go follow him.
Hell yeah. I'm out of questions. Do you guys have any questions left before we hit news? What else?
No, I think what Matt, what are you gonna ask?
I said I'm out of questions.
I thought you
have
said
no
you
more
had
questions.
one more
Oh.
question.
No, my last question was about the shoes. I wanted to know about the shoes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you had another question. Darren, are you good? You have any questions?
No, Evan has
Were you just
satiated
stroking
my
your wall?
desire for information.
He was stroking his wall.
I would okay. I have a wall like literally where my hand exits the screen. There's a wall here. It's really tempting.
For me.
It's tempting to grab it. I don't know. My hands have to do something when I'm talking. I can't.
Look
I can't
at
just,
Evan's
like,
face. He's just like, all right, bruh, whatever.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to see. I'm like, oh, what's he doing? Like, I want to know.
Can I just
Oh,
like
what's he
turn
grabbing?
it a little bit? There we go. See, it's right here. It's so tempting to touch.
Oh, okay.
It is. It is right there.
Okay. Close
I
wall.
get
I
it.
can just hold
get
it.
it. I do have one more question for Evan. Evan, we have another series called Bonus Stage, which is way more chill and laid back, and it's kind of like a drink and talk.
Okay.
Not that this one wasn't laid back, but this one we'll come up with a topic. We'll all just discuss it. I mean, we could talk about aliens, whatever you want to talk about. Would you be interested in coming on to Bonus Stage and like just chilling with us sometime?
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime. I'm down. I'm down to pod with y'all anytime.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, that was my last question.
Hell yeah. Shall we hit some news?
Let's jump over into some news.
Do I get to stay for the news? Is that what
Yeah.
is that what's happening?
Yeah,
What?
say it. We want
Yeah.
your
okay.
comments on the news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can have
Oh,
the whole
all right.
thing.
All right, cool.
Yeah. No,
I'm ready.
we hold our guests on right to the end.
That would have been terrible. We're like, all right, bye.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Evan. We're done.
That's what I thought. I was like, you know.
No.
No. You're in for the whole thing.
Okay, cool.
All right, our first piece of news comes from Eurogamer, written by Wesley Ian Poole. Sony U-turns on controversial Horizon Forbidden West PS4 to PS5 upgrade policy following backlash. Wesley writes, Sony has issued a dramatic U-turn on its controversial Horizon Forbidden West PlayStation 4 to PlayStation... Oh my god, it's the same sentence. Sony has heavily criticized after it confirmed Horizon Forbidden West standard and special editions did not include dual entitlement, Sony's label for granting you both the PS4 and PS5 versions of the same game, after Sony had previously said it would offer free upgrades for its cross-gen launch titles.
Ooh,
So basically,
yeah, I saw that.
what happened, Horizon Forbidden West has been a long time coming. We finally got a release date for February just a couple weeks ago. And now, over the course of the past week, the pre-orders went live. There's a lot of cool additions. There's a lot that you can get in on. Dope, fine, whatever. But what people got stuck on, rightfully so, because it was incredibly shitty of them to do, was they were not allowing you to upgrade from the PS4 version of the game to the PS5 version. You would have to buy separate editions of the games if you wanted the enhancements the PS5 version will presumably have. And especially because Horizon Forbidden West was supposed to be coming out alongside the PS5, that changed, delays happened. That's normal, whatever. But even though they had previously promised these free upgrades, people got mad. It was a shitstorm on Twitter for a few days, and now Sony has gone back and said, okay, you know what? You're right. We will not charge for the upgrade on this one going forward. It's going to be a standard $10 upgrade fee. I like that Sony reversed this. I still don't like that there's a cost, given how Microsoft doesn't charge you for their, the whatever version of the game you want is the version of the game you're going to be able to play. But I am glad that they reversed their kind of their stance here. Darren, tell me what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was dumb of them to not offer that. Because, yeah, like you said, like, you pretty much covered it. Like, Microsoft, is offering just... It's not even upgrades. The way that they're releasing their games is they are labeled Xbox. And, like, this is the thought behind calling it Series X, Series S, 1X, 1S. Because they could just call it Xbox, and it works across everything. Like...
Right.
That's, I feel like, the most consumer-friendly way to do it. And Sony is trying to go this prestige way where they're like charging an extra $10 for all their games. And I'm not actually opposed to a price increase if your game is going to be devoid of like microtransactions, and if you're going to take out all this like predatory loot boxes and gambling stuff. I'm actually okay paying a little bit more, because they're going to promise that I know game development's getting more expensive. So like, you got to go with the times. But like, if you're going to not even allow, transfers between platforms, like, come on.
Yeah, I agree. Evan, I see the PS5 in your background. Where's your hype check on Horizon Forbidden West, and how do you feel about the pricing debacle?
I'm pretty hyped for it. I think it's probably my favorite new Sony IP in the recent years.
Nice.
I did think this debacle was weird, especially because I don't know if you mentioned it, but in a press conference they said it was going to be free originally.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so I was like, wait, what? Um, but I am kind of with Darren. I'm not necessarily against a $10 hike, especially if it's devoid of, like you said, microtransactions and stuff like that. But what I would like them to do is at least make it consistent, so that there's no confusion
Yes.
when I'm going in and I'm buying first party titles. Right? I find it really interesting that at the start of this generation, I'm trying to think. Xbox calls it smart delivery, right? That's what they call it, where it identifies what console it is. That was like a marketing term, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, it's marketing, it's marketing." It's like blast processing. And now
Yeah.
I feel like we're starting to see, right? Like we're starting to see that, like, oh, it's not just marketing speak. This is something that's actually, very consumer friendly moving forward. So, I mean, I think it was the right decision, though. But I don't know. I'm not. I guess I'm not surprised that it happened.
Yeah, I'm glad that they've now kind of set the standard going forward. But it just proves to work that sometimes getting mad on the internet actually has a positive impact.
Definitely, the Sonic the Hedgehog effect, right?
There you go. This next story.
Dang, I don't have an opinion, Matt. You didn't.
This next story.
No, It's okay. I ain't have an opinion. It's okay. Keep going.
What's your opinion, Destiny?
No, I don't have one. Keep going.
I'm sorry. What's your opinion on her?
No, I really don't have one.
You think I don't know you by now? From Eurogamer, written by Tom Phillips. You can pay $5 to put Hello Kitty in a Super Monkey Ball. Hello Kitty is the latest character to be announced as paid DLC for the upcoming Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. You'll be able to purchase her for $5 on day one of the game's release, October 5th, alongside other DLC. Some characters will be free, some of them will not. Persona 5's Morgana will also be paid DLC. So Destiny, you and I have been talking a little bit about this because you laughed at me when I got excited about Persona characters and Yakuza characters being in Super Monkey Ball. Does Hello Kitty being in there do anything for you? I know you do like Hello Kitty. And you were excited about
I love Hello Kitty. She's up here. I have a couple up here. No, I don't care about her being in Monkey Ball.
No?
I honestly don't. Okay, no, I don't. I don't play that game, so I don't care.
But I'm excited because they're sticking. I got excited because they're sticking some of my favorite characters in that shit. But now it's just kind of like, now you're charging for them.
I don't think they should charge for them because it's the same game. It's just like wearing a different skin.
That's essentially what it is, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, like, I know some games charge for that kind of thing, but like, I really don't see the effect of it because you're in a ball the whole time.
It makes more sense for something like Fortnite or something like that, I feel like.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
I feel like, Hello Kitty knows how to fucking market, though. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, they're with everything. There are Hello Kitty. Never mind. Let's keep going.
No, I don't even want to know. I kind of want to know, but I don't want to know. But I kind of want to know.
Hold on, wait. Can I guess? Were you gonna talk about like Hello Kitty sex toys?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
What kind?
People are gonna think I'm a pervert, but listen, I'm just an adult woman trying to get mine. Moving on. What else is in the news?
The next thing in the news is, again, coming from Eurogamer, once again by Tom Phillips. Apparently, Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles are headed to Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo is set to add Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles to Nintendo Switch Online. Eurogamer sources have confirmed. So it's been a rumor that's been going on, but there's now seemingly more and more backing to it. September is the month that Nintendo Switch Online launched 2 years ago, and last year at this time they added the Super NES stuff. So what I want to know, Darren, are you excited about Game Boy and Game Boy Color games coming to Nintendo Switch Online?
I want to say also, based on our conversations, I would like to throw one more news story at the very end, which I'll introduce.
Me too.
Okay. Oh, okay. But so I will say, of course, I'm excited. Like, that's great. I want even more than that. Give me Game Boy Advance. Give me Nintendo 64. Give me, even if it requires them to raise the price a little bit, if they gave me a bigger library, I would pay more because right now the library is like painfully small.
Yeah. Destiny, what about you? Like, we have NES and SNES already with our Nintendo Switch Online membership. Are you excited about Game Boy stuff coming? Like, is there a Game Boy game that you would want to see on the service?
I'm excited because that was my first Game Boy. Was my first. No, Atari was, but like when I actually
First
knew what I was
handheld.
doing, it was my first handheld. Yeah, so like my actually no, because back then you could buy those cheap ones at the dollar store that just had like the one. But it was my first like official one that I could switch out games, and I had Tetris and Batman and Dr. Mario. So yeah, I'm excited to play those games again. I'm also a little. I dropped something. It's okay. I caught it.
Nice.
I'm also a little nervous because it's almost like going back and watching a movie that you loved and then seeing it again and being like, oh shit, this is actually kind of garbage. But I mean, like, I don't know. I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Evan, what about you? Any games that you're hoping for coming day one to the Game Boy Color stuff? Does this news excite you at all?
Yes and no. I think it's weird. I think Nintendo is sitting on a treasure trove of things that they can make money off of in terms of older products that people probably would want to play. I'm more of a Game Boy Advance guy myself.
Yeah.
That was kind of my jump into. I had a Game Gear before, so I missed out on a lot of the earlier stuff.
Oh, but, shit, I remember Game Gear.
Yeah.
Up that battery juice.
Yeah, right. Oh man,
it took like six fucking double
two
A
minutes.
Batteries.
2 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, I think it took like
6 batteries.
I think it took 6. It was like 3 and 3. Yeah,
it was something crazy. It wasn't no joke. It was no joke.
It lasted like 2 hours.
Yes, yeah. If you're lucky. But yeah, like I don't know. I would love to see them just. I just don't know. Nintendo. They're just sitting on so much, man, that I would want to play right now. And I just I want some of that other stuff. So yeah, anything that they're adding on to their library, I'm all about it.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe by the year 2030, we'll be able to play Nintendo 64 games on that thing, and it won't even be the ones that we want. I don't know. I'm excited that this is finally coming, but like Evan said, they have so much there that like just let me buy the fucking things I want to buy and play instead of giving me like Super Dodgeball from fucking God knows when and where, and it's like nobody gives a shit about half of the games on that.
Nobody gives a shit about Super Dodgeball. Right.
That's maybe a bad example, but there are worse examples.
Like the Barbie game. Actually, I don't think that was on there. There was a Barbie game.
Yeah.
I played it.
All right, the last Matt-led story then, because Darren and Destiny are going to jump on next. This is a story for Darren, and maybe Evan. I don't know how he feels about it, but this is coming from Wesley Ian Poole. Alan, from Eurogamer once again, Alan Wake Remastered pops up on retailer website with October release date. Alan Wake Remastered has popped up. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox versions are currently listed on Rakuten Taiwan with what looks like placeholder box art. The remaster will be at the Xbox 360's Classics debut on PlayStation consoles. So it's seemingly going to be announced this week. One might think as part of the PlayStation Showcase that's upcoming. I have never played this game. Destiny, have you ever messed with Alan Wake?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so Darren, I know you're a big fan. So before I go to you, Evan, are you an Alan Wake fan?
Look, he cracked his knuckles and everything.
So I never played Alan Wake, but I'm one of like the 4 people that loved Quantum Break, and Control is amazing.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So
Control's dope.
So I'm super excited if this is happening because I want to get the chance to play it.
Darren, go off. I'm giving you a minute.
Well, yeah, no, I'm actually not going to take too long in this. I did love Alan Wake, and like you said, this will be the first time that PlayStation players will be able to play it, because Remedy's generally been like a very Microsoft-focused studio, and I think Control is the only game they've made in recent memory that was on a PlayStation console before, like, since Max Payne 1 and 2, which was on, I think, PS2 as well as Xbox. But yeah, no, I love it. I would love to replay it because there's a Control DLC that focuses on Alan Wake, and I wanted to replay Alan Wake before I played that DLC. And this would be a great opportunity to do it. I just really hope that they include not only the DLC for Alan Wake, but also the Xbox 360 arcade exclusive Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which was some weird like spin-off, not spin-off, but like semi-sequel. and I never played it, so I want them to include that too.
Well, I guess we'll find out on Thursday. And with the launch date of like a month away, that's a pretty big surprise if it's real and if it's coming that quickly. I guess we'll find out. Darren or Destiny, who wants to go first with your
Darren.
story?
Okay,
Mine's
Darren,
more
let's
of
go.
an announcement.
All right,
All
sure.
right.
So then I had to bring this up because we kept talking about Sonic so much, and I want to know if you guys heard about it, what your thoughts on it. So this is another story coming from Eurogamer. I had to pull up an article real quick. Sonic Colors Ultimate players report graphics glitches and bugs. Sonic Colors Ultimate players have taken to social media to report a raft of bugs, graphics glitches, and crashes, particularly with the Nintendo Switch version. Sonic Colors Ultimate Early Access went live yesterday, and those who bought the Digital Deluxe Edition are now going to Twitter to talk about what went horribly wrong. And there's a ton of videos of glitches, and it's like the screen is vibrating colors, like the levels are disappearing, like Sonic is just passing through objects. It literally looks like someone smashed your TV with a hammer in a spot, and like how all the colors go weird, like that's what's going on in the levels. Have any of you heard about this story? Yeah.
No,
Evan, what do you
that
think
makes
about
me
this
sad,
as a
though.
Sonic fan? Were you gonna get Sonic Colors
He
Ultimate?
just, you know what? Can I just, oh, Darren, you just wanted to get in there. Darren, I feel like Darren hates Sonic. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there really quick. I feel like he fucking cannot stand Sonic. You see how excited he was as he was reading everything that was wrong with the game? He was like, yo, it's just terrible shit, and it's all over Twitter.
I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Evan.
man.
Before I pass it off to you, I have to defend myself very quickly now. For the record, I actually own the original Sonic Colors on the Wii, and it's one of my favorite
sure.
Wii games. I really liked Sonic
Okay.
Colors. I was really excited for this remaster, and I'm genuinely upset that the remaster has so many issues. So
Yeah,
Evan.
it's super disappointing, dude. It's super disappointing. I'll tell you something else that really had me upset too, since you're a fan of the OG one. I think the soundtrack is remastered.
Yes,
Like it's
It
not
is.
it's not the original music, so I'm already kind of not happy about that, to be honest. I don't even know what to say about Sonic Team. And this is someone who's like I am a huge Sonic fan. Will defend till I die. But like they are just Sega as a whole, I feel like is not the same company that they used to be, and it shows on so many different titles that they put out. I'm gonna give you guys a really crazy hot take. At the start of the Xbox generation, the very first system, they had the opportunity to buy them, and they passed
Really?
on it.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
and then I think Sega merged with Atlas, and when that happened, I think a lot of their OG developers split in the merge. I really wish Microsoft just would have bought them, and I feel like
Yeah.
they would be all good. Maybe even not even Microsoft. It could have been anybody. I wish just Sony, Nintendo. It could have been anybody. I wish they would have just bought them at that time, but they didn't. And now we're getting like weird Sonic games. Like
It's
there's that new
crazy.
game. Yeah,
It's such a shame.
Yeah.
It feels like they're not confident in their creations. That's what I feel like. I feel like after they kind of lost like the console wars, they just kind of like it kind of really deflated their confidence as a company in
You-
general.
You know what I think it is? Adding to what you're saying, I feel like they do not know what direction to take the IP, because every single game since that's happened has been different. Like there's always some really crazy gimmick. It's almost like they're trying to be a little bit too much like Mario, right? Where like Mario has like there's usually like a little small gimmick, right? Like Mario Sunshine, Galaxy, and then Odyssey, right? There's some sort of small gimmick, but I don't think at its core all of those games are still Mario games. Like Sonic Heroes plays so much different than like Sonic Adventure versus like Sonic Unleashed is kind of different from like Sonic what was that?
Boom.
Sonic
Sonic
Generations.
Boom.
And so yeah, Sonic Boom.
Oh,
I think
man,
they're just
yeah.
trying to find what sticks, and I feel like they just haven't done it yet. Do you know what I mean? Like they're trying to find different ways to like present, because Sonic is their OG. Like when you think of Sega, you think of Sonic. Like
Yep. Yo, just because you said Sonic Boom, can I tell y'all? I'm a story time guy. I'm sorry if I talk too
No,
much. Can I tell y'all a
go,
quick story?
go. Tell
By all
us the
means.
story.
So the year that Sonic Boom is playable at E3, I'm there with my team, right? And I'm trying to play Killer Instinct, and I had just got done playing Sonic Boom, and I was like, damn, this game is garbage. Like, this is not good, right? And like, I remember we're standing in line, and dude was in front of me, and he was talking to one of the devs, right? The guy who's playing Killer Instinct in front of him gets off the station. There's no one playing. I'm trying to play, right? I want to play.
Mhm.
And the dude in front of me is talking to the dev, and it's going on for over a minute. So I'm starting to think, like, I'm like, oh, like, he clearly just wants to talk to the developer. He doesn't want to play, right? So I mosey on around him to get the controller, and he puts his hand out, and he's like, hold on, bro. I want to play. And then he turns around, and he has the big red button developer on his thing, and he's like, oh, I know what it is. You don't like that new Sonic game, huh? You think that Sonic game is garbage? And I got actually like really scared because I was like, did he hear me say that? Like, did I
Did I say it out loud?
Was I talking out loud? Was I that loud about it? Like, how does he know that I think it's trash?
He saw
And
your
then
face.
like, and then he was like, I'm just kidding, bro. You'll go play it later. And in my head, I was just like, I'm not gonna play it.
Oh my god. What the hell?
Man.
That's
He
so
knew,
random. Was
He
he
was
a
projecting
developer
it.
for?
Yeah, he was projecting it all out on me at the moment, and I'm just
Wow.
like, you already know.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I feel like Sega just doesn't know what to do with the character. Like when I think of Sonic, I think of like the snark, the attitude, the speed, right? And that's kind of like the core things. And they're like kind of like, he's a mascot character. Let's do everything we can with him so the kids like him. And then that's kind of going to be the selling feature. So they just keep trying whatever they can to make it work. But like Mania sold really well, and that was as close to classic Sonic as you can get.
And Sonic
Yeah.
Team
Last
didn't make it.
20 years. And Sonic Team didn't
Yeah,
make it. So
isn't that a heartbreaker? Isn't that a
It
heartbreaker
is.
to like just say? Yeah, it makes me sad.
I love them too. I love Sonic. Like I remember when he first came out on Sega, and it was like eye-catching, popping color. Like it was dope.
yeah.
But anyways. Alright guys, so I have a really quick announcement. Our friends over at Paddle Creek Games, the developers of Fractured Bell, have their Kickstarter. It actually went live yesterday, September 7th. So please go check out our interview with Ryan. He's amazing. He's a great guy. And go check out the game. If you like survival type games, you're going to fucking love this. So please go check out their Kickstarter. You can find all their information about it on their website. We will drop the link below.
Yeah.
Down there.
Perfect. So make sure you go check it out. Yeah, so make sure you catch the bonus stage episode that Destiny and Darren did with Ryan. It's a fantastic interview, and he's such a chill and awesome dude. We will have him on the show again
In the future.
very soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Very soon.
I think like
Yeah,
the week after, almost,
Yeah.
to talk about it. So-
almost like next week.
almost like next week.
Almost like next week.
Their game
But
looks awesome.
That
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Evan,
really dope.
check it out. It's dope as fuck. It's so dope.
yeah.
But I'm going to take it from Matt because Matt was about to end it, and I was like,
I was
"No,
about to throw it to
you're
you."
about to." But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in and listening to our podcast. Evan, thank you so much for coming on. And I know we already asked you to drop your information, but just one more time, pretty please, with the cherry on top. Drop your info for our listeners so they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me at on Instagram at DubMobile. You can find me on Twitter at DubMobile. You can find my podcast at E by3 Podcast on Instagram and Spotify. And lastly, you can look up my team at Interabang, ENT, on Twitter and IG.
Thank you. Guys, go check Evan out. Evan, thank you so much for coming on today. Like, it was
Thank you.
not just a huge favor, but like, I love you. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate y'all. It was fun. Let's do this again.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
guys, it
Very
was so much fun
soon
talking to
with
you.
drinks
For sure.
and maybe some
Yeah.
after.
Drinks.
Anyways. All right, guys, that's it for us. We'll catch you next time. Everybody say bye.
Later.
Peace, guys.
Deuces.
Do, 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 do.
the jingle?
Yeah, I'm trying something new. I'm Mariah Carey.
Oh, all right. That's nice. Okay, can you do it again? I wasn't ready. Okay, we're good. Oh, okay. All right, done.